Hello disc golfers, Matt Dollar here, and I'm here with the last round from the Magnolia Open B tier at the International Disc Golf Center in Appling, Georgia. We have the Female Pro Open lead card today. It's Ashley Collins in the lead at -4. We've got Haley Childs in second place and Kim Collins in third place. We'll be playing on the Ed Hedrick Steady Ed course today. Playing the long tees, and the pins are in the short positions. Hole 1's definitely a birdie you'd like to get to start out the round. 1, 2, and 3 are all fairly easy birdie positions. All straight ahead, but you do have to hit a gap on all of them. We had Ashley Collins from Team Innova teeing off first, and then that was Haley Childs representing Team Latitude 64 teeing off second. Teeing third here is Kim Collins. Oh, Kim sneaks off the fairway just a little, gets by that first gap, but then catches a late tree. It's going to knock her down. Well short, but Kim throws a very nice upshot here. It's going to give her about a 20-foot comebacker to save the 3. Very nice jump putt from Haley Childs to get up and down there. And Ashley will be the only one here with the birdie chance. So this tournament was part of the Women's Global event, and so the 2 rounds on Saturday went towards the Women's Global. This is actually round 3 of the tournament on Sunday. So this round didn't count towards the Women's Global, but the Saturday rounds did. So Ashley ended up finishing the highest of the Female Pro Open ladies from this event, and I believe she finished in 39th place in the Global event. So this is hole 2. Hole 2 is a similar distance to hole 1, maybe just a little bit longer. I tried to get an angle from behind the pin. We could see Ashley tee off, but you couldn't really see the next 2, so no one had that great of a drive. Everyone's going to have to scramble here. Ashley throws a beautiful little forehand. I believe that's the new Innova Rat that she's throwing there. Looks like everyone's going with a forehand approach here. Kim Collins throws a beautiful little Anheuser forehand around some trees. She'll be parked for a drop-in 3. Haley got into some trouble. Her tee shot initially went to the right, and then it took a kick and just went through everything. Put her in a tough spot, and I don't believe she'll be able to get the par. In fact, I believe she's going to card a double bogey here, but Ashley's able to save the par, and so is Kim, and we'll move on to hole number 3. Pretty similar to hole number 1. It's another downhill tunnel shot, except this time you need to throw the tunnel on the right side of the fairway and let it just hyzer a little bit at the end. You got to be careful because there's that big down tree behind the pin, and if your disc goes under or over it, then you won't really have a look coming back. There's also some big boulders to the left of the pin, on the green and before the green, so you definitely want to stay up top on the boulders. If you get down to the left, it's a very elevated comebacker. Haley threw a pretty good looking tee shot. It got down that right side, but there's 2 trees that just live in that right side, right in the middle. So another scrambling hole for Haley. Kim's going to have a long look at the 3, or at the 2 rather. There's rumor that her drive may have hit Paul Childs hanging out on the green, aka Batman. Ashley throws a pretty good looking putt here on hole number 3. Mach 3's not super receptive to that high, slightly left spin putt. Disc catcher might have caught it, but she'll settle for the par. Here's a little look at the lake here from hole 4's tee pad. This is the first time in years I've seen the lake at full pull. We played this course at the Hall of Fame Classic in 2007, and it was like the first big tournament here at the International Disc Golf Center, and the lake was at full pull then, and I believe maybe only once since then have I seen it that high. I did get to play a little practice round out here on Friday with Carla, my fiance, and had a really great time. Love this course. Did lose a nitro in the water on hole number 5 though. So we missed Haley's drive on hole 4, but man, she threw a smash all three ladies threw really good drives. Ashley's going with a tomahawk approach shot here. That was something understable to get the quick flip. That was an excellent tomahawk. We're going to go a little slow-mo here. She comes straight over the top and then finishes with a little bit of turn on it so that it gets that quick flipping movement. That is an excellent overhand tomahawk shot from Ashley Collins. Ashley's one of my favorite players. She's such a grinder out there in the course. It's so funny because Josh Childs and I, Josh is Haley's husband, Josh and I played so many rounds for so many years in the Georgia scene where it seemed like it was just him and I battling head to head at all these tournaments. There were other players there, but we were usually finishing first and second. And Josh and I like to talk about how Haley and Ashley's little rivalry basically rivals the one that he and I had all those years ago. So both these ladies play really good, and they have a completely different skill set, and that's basically why it compares so much to Josh and I, because we had completely different skill sets, but yet have always battled it out at almost every local tournament. So we're here on hole 5, and most guys you will see take the right side in the Pro Open division. The female Pro Open division, you're going to see them play the left side a little more. When the water is not at full pull, you'll see almost everyone take the right side, but the right side is super scary right now. However, the left side, you still have to hit a downhill gap and clear that little finger of the lake there.
Yeah, great shot, great shot.
Haley Childs just threw a St. Pro further than I've ever seen anyone get going the left side on this hole. I remember back in the day, some of the sidearm throwers, the local guys would play that route just to, you know, play it safe when the lake was up. But Haley's drive gets further than anyone I've ever seen take that left side. Super impressive tee shot. So Ashley's having to do some scrambling now, and she's going to go tomahawk here, and that is an excellent shot. This hole is considered a par 3 in this short position. They do call it a par 4 in the long position, although it was aced by Eric Oakley during the mixed doubles at Pro Worlds last year. Ashley Collins and I actually competed in that mixed doubles at Pro Worlds, and we only lost by, I believe, 4 shots. We had a really good day of golf. Oh no, Ashley putts into a headwind here on hole 5. There's always a little wind coming off the lake, and it lifts her disc, and she's going to hit that number plate. Really the first big boo-boo from Ashley during this round. Haley doesn't capitalize on that amazing drive, but she will get the 3, and we'll move on to hole number 6. It's a shorty, but that lake on the right is definitely in play. Anything that gets over that little ledge or even hits a tree moving right to left and rolls back to the right has a good chance of going in the water.
Oh.
Big shout out to Ashley Collins' sock game. Okay. Starry Night over here is looking beautiful. So Ashley and Kim will both be scrambling from the right side, and I believe Haley parked it unless she got some kind of weird roll we couldn't see at the end there. I guess it's really not just the sock game. She's also got those fire shorts going on with the flamingos. Style is A+, although she will not be happy about missing the birdie here on hole number 6. Kim takes a big looping approach, and it's a little shorter than she wanted, but it'll get her in range. Oh, but she won't be able to convert that putt there. She's going to settle for a bogey here on hole 6. And after a pretty strong start, Kim's kind of hit a couple speed bumps here on the last few holes. Hole 7, par 4, basically like a fishhook hole to the right. So Haley wanted her drive to continue to turn instead of coming out to the left. Kim throws a perfect shot there. I guess we missed Ashley's, but Kim's shot was perfect. They're all actually in okay position. Haley was a little hemmed up on the early left side. So Kim and Ashley had a discussion before this shot, and they decided to go with Thumber. I think that Thumber was going to be really good had it been a little bit lower. I mean, it seemed like it had the right amount of speed. I like the play here. It's a smart play. But the thing about the thumber, especially if you have one of those quicker flipping thumbers like you could tell Kim's was going to do, you're better off aiming those a little lower, because if you miss those quick flipping thumbers lower, they usually land on the ground and still skip forward. But if you miss them high, they're going to come out earlier than you want, or possibly hit the high ceiling or the low ceiling. Ashley threw a great upshot, and she should be pretty close putting for her birdie. She did get just a little bit past the pin there, so she'll have to settle for a par. We'll move into hole 8. Beautiful par 3 that sits up on the rocks. A little slow-mo. Ashley doesn't have that traditional X step. It's more of a little hop and skip there.
Yeah, it was pretty.
But that was an absolutely beautiful tee shot from Ashley here in hole 8. And we're going to go into the slow-mo for Haley Childs here as well. Looks like Haley's throwing a mace, I believe. She is also throwing a beautiful shot. And Kim Collins last to tee here on hole number 8. The triple slow-mo must mean 3 very nice looking shots in a row. Kim's is going to fade a little quicker than Ashley and Haley's, but it will avoid those rocks. Everyone should have a look at the birdie up here. You got to be a little careful. The rocks will make you roll, though.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful putt from Haley. She had to work with that uphill angle, putting into the Mach 3s, and it hits a little right, but it's a friendly catch there. Little slow-mo on the leg kick. Leg kick is always a good way to make sure you get that extra bit of height you need on your putt. Oh, Kim gives a good bid, but doesn't quite convert the birdie here on hole 8. However, Ashley will get her birdie. And that'll leave Kim with a little bit of a comebacker before we move on. So we move on to hole 9, the last hole of our video. It is a par 4. The long pin has a par 5 position, but it is in the short pin today, which is tucked in the rocks on the right side. Ashley throws a beautiful drive here. Should put her in a good spot unless it crawled just off the fairway to the right, and then she might have to do some kind of scrambling technique to get a look. However, Haley will have no scrambling from her tee shot because she threw that as good as anyone could throw it. In fact, if you could just go ahead and let me take Haley's drive right there on every tournament round I play on this course for the rest of my life, I will be super happy with it. Kim turns hers over just a bit, but manages to stay in the fairway.
Yeah.
She chooses to go a backdoor route on her second shot and executes it beautifully. Should give her a really good chance to get up and down for the par. Wow. Ashley threw a tomahawk, and because she was forced into that straddle, it came out with an extra bit of pan, landed on its back, and flared over to the right. It's probably in that big ditch behind the basket. I know Haley's going to wish she had that one back. After such a great drive, she just let that upshot slip out a little early and caught the only tree there to block her. Tough break for Haley. See if Ashley can convert this beautiful birdie. And convert it she does. What an excellent putt from Ashley to finish this front 9. Ashley's going to shoot a 29 on the front, which is par, although I would consider hole 4 a par 4.
Great putt,
and
baby.
hole 5 is kind of tweener land for the ladies and the full and with it playing at full pull, I would almost say 4 and 5 are par 4s. But there's a look at their front 9 right there, and I just want to say thank you so much for watching these wonderful women of disc golf, and I'm just happy to bring you this extra bit of footage from the Magnolia Open. Thank you so much, and please check back for the back 9 here and more videos from Matt Dollar Disc Golf.